Aw.
Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love.
Yum.
Just the reason I was on, I called for like an hour. When I talked for a long time, I still have a little tightness in the chest as we're coming out of this thing.
Yes.
But my love, you wanted to do this video all about love, your favorite topic.
My favorite subject.
Yes.
Not only my favorite subject, but you know, if I'm asked what my why is in this world, I truly believe that my why is to help other people with relationships and not just relationships with other people, but relationships with themselves as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like you and I have been so incredibly blessed.
Yes, we have.
You know, to have met each other. And
meeting each other, so blessed. And we've worked at this too to keep our relationship as good as it's been.
It's work every day, but worth it.
Yeah, and I would say our relationship, not to brag, is probably the best relationship I know of, and I'm just saying that to share. We have a lot of people coming to us that said, "Hey, we want what you guys have. How do you guys do it?" That kind of stuff, and we cherish those compliments because it's something that we work hard at. And what I care most about is taking care of you. I know you feel the same way. So I think our why, I mean, it's really us. Like we have a mission to kind of share this, right, with people.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, our why. And thank you for correcting.
Well, no, you're usually correcting me, just so you know on that.
No, well, thank you for correcting me because really, you know, Jeffrey and I are a team. We always say we're an us. And that was one of the things that a lot of people noticed when we first started dating. We got a lot of feedback from family and friends saying, you guys always say us, and it hadn't been that long, but it was, that was an immediate, once we were together as a unit, as an us, and, you know, we truly believe that we are soulmates and twin flames, and, you know, most people don't get to find their soulmate and their twin flame. And, you know, to get a little bit off topic, Jeffrey and I do believe in past lives. And, you know, Jeffrey's had many, many lives. He's really an old soul. And
well, that's what they tell me. Every time we get with somebody that's got a little insight, I mean, they do say it it almost weirds me out a little bit.
And they don't say that about me. And I'm not saying that being offended. I don't feel as I've evolved on the level of being an old soul as much as you. I definitely feel like I've got a lot of lives behind me, but I'm still working.
Yeah, it's deep, and this is something that's kind of hard. Someone tuning into this thing for love advice is probably like getting wigged down a little bit.
Okay,
right?
so that's another video on, you know, past lives and whether or not you believe in it. But my point was that we are very grateful and fortunate to have met our soulmate and twin flame, and we believe that that was not a mistake, that was not a coincidence or a by chance. We believe that was the universe putting us together because, you know, we grew up in different parts of the country. We met 3 years prior to dating. We ran into each other again at just the perfect time. Now, all of those things aligned just so, and we believe that it was part of the plan of the universe for us. And if we didn't share the, you know, the knowledge that we have gained in our relationship, and some of it is insight that has just been given to us, gifted to us also. If we didn't share that, we would be remiss in doing what we were put here on earth to do, which is to help other people with their relationships.
Yeah, and that's why we're writing the book. That's why we're doing this channel. We're pretty passionate about just sharing that information, trying to help people. I know this is our second go. Karen and I usually call it like one-hit wonders. We just turn the camera on. But someone called in the middle. I forgot to put it on airplane mode and shut down the video. But you were talking a lot in the last one about the relationship that we have, and then how others should look at it, and you fall in love at first, that feeling of love, how you keep that going, you know, looking into the soul, like let's go down that path. I don't know if you need to look at your notes, but you were on a good track there. I think most people would be interested in.
Okay,
But you
yeah.
started off with that feeling of love and how people are, you know, so excited to get up, whether you're living together where you wake up and you're so excited to spend the time. We still do that today.
Right.
We're just saying that we're locked in here because of the whole shutdown, that, you know, we're like, this is really fun that we're locked in here together. We're excited. I can't wait for,
Right.
we have a whole schedule. We're going to go for a little walk. We're going to
Yeah.
cook our dinner. We're going to watch some documentary or show. We're getting to bed early and start all over again the next day. We're having fun.
We are having fun. I actually am giddy, you know, just talking about how much fun we're having. And, you know, we call it playing house. We're together 29 years. And, you know, when you're a little kid and you're playing house, this is really what you're doing. It's a funny concept thinking that you do that as a little kid, but we're doing it as adults and as grown-ups. And
we're kids again. We're trying to live our lives through childlike eyes.
Exactly.
And we're trying to live more childlike, right?
Right, and we choose to play this game we call house. And, you know, so just to get on to what you were saying is that I hope that all of you have had that feeling of being in love.
Right.
And if you haven't, that's okay. And you need to start from within yourself. And your first relationship, your first falling in love needs to be with yourself. Once you are fully in love with yourself, then when you meet somebody else who's in that same, you know, state, the magic can begin. But that feeling, and as Jeffrey said, you may not even be with the person at the moment. Maybe you're in your place, they're in their place, but you've met and you're in love, and you, it's almost like an extra spring in your step. You can't wait to get out of bed. When that phone rings and you hear their voice, you are just beyond excited about hearing their voice. Everything is brighter. Everything is happier. Everything's more joyful. Your energy level is really, really high. And that is really important to think about, where that energy comes from. You're at home and they're in their home. So the energy is not coming from the other person. And if you try to put it upon the other person, that's where relationships start to crack and fail, because
I think so.
It's a lot of pressure to put that onto somebody else. It needs to come from within. And, you know, have you ever been around somebody, or you've got this feeling of love, and then when you're with that person, they are exuding such positive energy that you can't wait to be around them.
Right.
Well, the feeling is mutual because you're exuding that same energy. Now, if one of you comes into the story and is like, you know, Eeyore, the sky is falling, all of a sudden the other person is going to start to question the relationship, because now, you know, it's not a and this is very, very delicate, because obviously if somebody's having a bad day, we're not talking about something like that. We're talking about somebody that's coming into the relationship and they aren't whole, and they're not able to accept and receive love the way that you're overflowing with it. And they're also not able to give it. And a lot of times those people are the ones that feel like, if only I met that right person,
Right.
everything would be great. But that's not the case,
Right.
because they need to be whole
Right,
first.
right. No one's gonna fix you, right? Unless you
Right.
find a saint, you know, that really wants to come in and work on a project. I mean,
I did fix you. No, I'm just kidding. When Jeffrey came to me, oh my gosh, I wanted to be such an amazing person. I mean, I wanted to be the best version of myself, because he was such a great person. And I already felt like I was a pretty dang amazing person, and he was lucky to know me. So, and I don't say that bragging, I say that's how we came together.
Yeah.
You have to be in that state
Right.
where you are worthy. You have self-confidence. you are the greatest thing since sliced organic bread.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, when we talk about the universe, it's like a mirror that looks back on you. So just as you're saying that, that's reminding me to bring this up. Like what you put out there comes right back to you. So what you just said, so when we met, you know, I was putting this energy to you, you wanted to give it back. So by the way, I'm not giving you this energy to get that back. I'm giving this energy because I wanted to take care of you. And, you know, I wanted that to work. And I wanted to put all this effort into the relationship. So I'm the light giver here in this scenario, this part. So it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me through you. You're just talking about how it felt on your side. You wanted to project it back. That's just the way this works. I mean, that's the whole mirror topic, or boomerang theory, as we've called it before. Whatever you throw out there comes back to you, right?
Right.
Yeah. And you were talking last time about something that is important to me. So I've said this to you forever too, because once you have this relationship and you nurture it and you get there, you go beyond physical looks. You know, what someone's wearing, you know, what their body weight is, or if they're in good shape or whatever, if their hair's been brushed or whatever, right? I mean, like
if they've been wearing sweatpants for, you know, the past 2 months because they're in quarantine.
But yeah, so I told Karen this quite a while ago, and this is what you were talking about. When I'm looking at you, I look at your eyes, I'm looking into your soul. Even to the point where I shared in the last video, like Karen sometimes in the past would say, "Hey, we're going out to dinner somewhere. Do you like this? Do you like this dress, or do my hair this way?" And I would look too quick, and she would say, "You didn't even look."
He actually really wouldn't look at all.
Yeah. Well, anyway, then I had to explain to her, it's like, and I wasn't making this up. None of that really matters to me anymore. And you get this, right? I mean, I wasn't just making it up. None of it matters to me. When I look at you, I look into your eyes, in your soul, and that's who you are to me. Like, a lot of times I might not even know what you're wearing. Right. I mean, it's like I could physically look at it, but I don't care. Right?
You don't care. And, you know, to take that a step further, when I was pregnant with our second daughter, and with our first daughter, I did not put on an enormous amount of weight because I didn't feel great through the pregnancy, which for anyone who's pregnant, when you don't feel great, that's always a good sign. When you do feel great, that turned out to be a good sign as well. For me, the only negative about feeling great was I had a voracious appetite, and I kept waiting to be nauseous like I was the first time. Well, it not only did it not happen for 9 months, it didn't happen for 9.5 months because our second child just, you know, she was really happy. And
she always says she doesn't like change.
Yeah, she doesn't like change, and it started when she was in the womb. But I'm bringing this up because I had put on a great deal of weight with our second child, and throughout the entire pregnancy, you always told me how beautiful I looked. And he wasn't saying I looked beautiful, you know, like a supermodel. It was way beyond that. It was beautiful because I'm the woman that he loves, and I'm carrying our child, and it was such a sweet time because, you know, I don't know that everybody does that for their spouse, and we should on all levels and all accounts. I'm not just talking about if you're pregnant. I'm talking about on all,
day in, day out.
Exactly, every single day we should be telling our partners how beautiful they are. And again, I'm not talking about the physicality of them. I'm talking about they are beautiful as a person. Their soul is so, you know, beautiful. And you and I have evolved to have these conversations that are, you know, like when we first met in our very first date, and you know, we talked nonstop about anything and everything, and we still do that. It's just that now our conversations are that much deeper because we know each other, and we've got so much time and energy and love invested in our relationship.
So people out there are asking, you know, how do I keep that going, right? I think everybody gets the giddiness of that first love affair when you get together and you can't wait to see that person. Everybody gets that, and then all of a sudden it starts to die off. Or God forbid, we have plenty of friends 20-something years, 30 years of marriage, and then they pull the ripcord and get out. We just, grew apart, those kinds of things. So how do you avoid that? And I think, my quick answer, and I don't want to hear your comments here, but my quick answer is you've got to remember why you came together to begin with. And, focus on that. There's always, everybody's got, good, there's really no good and bad, but you know what I mean. There are things you like more about someone and things you like less about someone, whatever it is. It might be the way they, squeeze the toothpaste tube. It's funny. I think we did a video or something. Morgan Rose said, "Do people like get divorced about toothpaste?" or something like that. But
I love the fact, and she lives with her boyfriend. I love the fact that was really, puzzling to her, because
it should be puzzling.
It
right?
should be. She doesn't care about those kind of things, and I think that that I'll take a little credit, as you should too. That when we raised them, you and I never fought about those kind of things. That nothing like that ever bothered us enough to really make a big deal about it.
And it's only an analogy, but you know what I mean. There's certain things, if you've been in a relationship before that started out great and didn't end so great, what happened? And you're probably asking, how do I keep that alive?
Right.
You've got to think about, why'd you get together in the first place, and focus on those things and keep those things up in the forefront. And anything that you don't like stupid little things, you gotta let that stuff fall by the wayside. And just, focus on the good. I mean, it's common sense. All these things are really easy to do, but also very easy not to do, right?
You've said that so many times, and every time you say it, it resonates with me. It's so easy to do, but so easy not to do. And you've got a choice, right? And so, choose to do those things. And I agree with you on everything that you said. You have to remember why you came together in the first place. And obviously you're attracted to that person, and that's part of it, but you are attracted to the conversations and the energy that is between the two of you. And you have a choice every single day to have that, or to wake up and shut that down, and and not appreciate the other person, not have gratitude for having the person that you manifested, the person of your dreams, to wake up next to. I mean, you have a choice to wake up and roll over and give them a kiss and say, "I'm so happy you're the person I'm waking up next to." You can do that every single day for 60, 70, 80 years. Or, you can not do that and grow apart. This is all a choice, and this is what's so cool about that, that feeling and that magic that you're talking about and keeping it alive. It takes work. It's like tending to a garden. Right. If you don't water the garden, guess what? It's going to dry up and it's going to die. It's the same thing with the relationship. Right. It's all a matter of priority. Nothing is more important to me than my relationship with you. And that is the most important thing. And I've said this before, and some people agree and some people don't. We have two amazing daughters who are my sun and my moon, and I adore. But I always put Jeffrey first, because you know what? If that relationship right here gets cracks in it and starts to crumble, then those children fall through the cracks. And this is a kind of a sensitive topic, because more than 50% of the marriages end in divorce, and kids fall through those cracks. Now listen, they're going to survive and they're going to be fine, but the marriage isn't going to survive. And wouldn't it be great if we had the tools to keep the marriage not only alive but flourishing? And that way, your kids are going to be great. It's important for them to see that your relationship with your spouse is the most important thing, and that person is always first. Our kids have never felt neglected for being in that position. Right. And our job as parents is to raise them to be their own individuals and to release them into the world to fly and soar on their own. Our other job is to keep this relationship going, because I certainly don't want to see you fly and soar out on your own. I want to, keep you and I together.
Well, it's important because even if the kids go out on their own, they find their significant other, they have kids, they build the relationship that's part of the family unit. We got to keep that together. But I think it is important to set a good example for your kids when you can. I mean, there are situations, obviously, stories out there where things just couldn't work with a marriage because of if there's abuse or things like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course. But what you're talking about, when you say over 50% of marriages end in divorce, I don't have any numbers. I'm going to say like 40% of those 50 probably could have been saved if they thought about this the right way. And I'm just making that number up, but it's probably directionally correct. Right. That's all.
Absolutely. And if they have put the relationship first, you hear a lot, the kids are grown now and we have nothing in common. And that's because, you've put the kids before the relationship. And you have to remember what came first. The relationship came first, and that relationship is sacred and so so important. And I love, as Jeffrey said in the beginning. My dream for everybody would be to have what Jeffrey and I have, and I believe that is attainable. I believe that you have to understand that you create your own emotions and your own feelings, and you can continue to create that love and that spark for the other person by continually having gratitude for them. And if you're always having gratitude, it's really hard to let those negative things seep in. And nobody's perfect. I know Jeffrey is the closest thing to perfection. Just ask him and he'll tell you.
I know. But no, you're right. If you're grateful for things, it's hard to be down. And grateful, you start off with the smallest of things and work your way through it. I think we've done videos on gratitude and how important it is. But I think that those are great points.
Yeah, and little things too, like during ski season, Jeffrey carries my skis. I always try to thank him for that. I know I don't 100% of the time, but I always try to say,
and you don't need to,
thank
right?
you.
So I'm not carrying the skis.
I know that just like you wrote me a love note for 10 years without getting one back and never asking for one, I know if I never thanked you, you would continue to do that. And that's a really important point, is in the relationship, do what you want to do and give what you want to give, because you have that from within and it's such a gift to give it. And don't give it for any other reason except for the fact that you want to.
Right.
Yeah.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. Ooh. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the nest at Copper Mountain.
Go ahead and click off up here and subscribe. We'd love to have you on board. Love to hear your comments too, because this helps us as we build the message out there. So thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.
Peace out.